Now, next chord we have is a G chord, and this one is a little bit stretchy and it might take a bit of time to get used to it, but let's have a look and see if we can't master it. So this G chord, put your third finger on the third fret of the high E. Your first finger here goes on the second fret of the A string, and your second finger here goes on the third fret of the low E, and the chord will sound like this. So with this G chord, it's a stretchy one, as we know, and one of the things that can happen is when you're stretching across these strings, the D, the G, they can be muted by these fingers. So again, try and keep them as pointy as possible. Another little thing which you can do that really helps you out when you're playing this G chord is try and make it from the bottom up. So if you put on your third finger first, then your first, then your second, always seems to help that. For some reason, it seems to be harder to put the low ones on first, then put that one on. It stretches a bit of the muscle here, so give that one a go. Time to play with the band again with this G chord. Now just remember, sometimes when you're playing these and you're playing along with the band, you'll be looking at your fingers and you're trying to think of the time as well, which is quite tricky. But as I say, if you get lost, just listen to the beat, try and work out where you are and come back in on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'll stop counting now. Well, if you're getting this G, you're doing very well indeed, because I remember learning this one. Very stretchy, very tricky to learn, but there are a few more things you can do, so let's have a look at our pro tip. All right, now, so for the G chord, we have learnt the G chord this way, which is really good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but there's a little trick you can do with this chord, and that is if you shift up your third finger here, leave everything else where it is, up 1 fret to the third fret of the B, and then put your little finger where that third finger was, so on 3 on the high E, you get this sound. And this is a really nice sounding full G. Here's the other one. Here's this one. Can you hear the difference? I'll just play a couple of bars of that. That's the first one. So this one is good not only because it sounds great, but also it's easier when we come to it to change from a G to a D. If you notice there, I didn't move that finger. Here's a G, here's a D, and we never need to move that. If you use this G, say going to a D, we have to take a whole finger off and put them back on again. So that's a very good tip for the G chord.